Hello everybody, so I'm back again. I'm not sick anymore, so that's good, right? Yeah, so this was the save file. I hope that this is the right place. I don't exactly remember. Well, let's just go with this, I suppose. Here, with only the occasional drifts of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud! If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from playing every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough! That's enough! A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I've left wide open. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter inauspiciously as the wind touches it. Send us to 5 people or else. Like, haven't already 5 people looked at the letter now? Does that count? I was so unsure about how this counts. I mean, it's a curse and I suppose it's supposed to be tricky to, lure people. We'll see. Funny how an ordinary looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after what? After that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? Exactly. This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing that she's real and might also go after the people I care about, I just wish someone will listen. Believe me. Gosh, that was such a loud noise. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Exactly. Okay, it just sounded way louder than usual. Hopefully it's okay. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Sorry. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon? I think the sound is way too loud, actually. Did that help? A little bit? Wait. Yeah, okay. Like, it's just so loud. But I mean, it's a horror game, so it's supposed to be scary, but hopefully this will be better. Frankly, it's the last thing I want to discuss, but I did leave the 2 of them there without saying anything. Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried.
Hey, Zach!
Oh, good. I thought for sure you're not gonna pick up.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone.
No worries. You game tomorrow?
I pause. I don't recall making plans with Zach for the week.
Did I forget something?
Remember that guy I told you about? Back in the movies? The, priest? For the blessing? Does it ring a bell?
Oh, right. I did say that, but I didn't think it'd actually go through the trouble, especially after what happened with his film. Sometimes I forget how kind Zach can be.
Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it?
My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So, tomorrow, he'll meet us at the mansion.
Okay. Sorry for the trouble, Zach.
Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with. And, well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca.
I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh?
Nah, we're cool. You had us worried. but I know you'll tell us about it eventually. I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden, and you're not answering any of our calls.
He's trying to get me to talk. Normally, I tell him I'm fine, say a few simple reassurances to put their mind at ease. Now, nothing will form. I can't bring myself to say anything. He seems to have sensed my hesitation because he immediately changes the subject.
Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup. But it'd be embarrassing if I burned soup.
I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand...
Well, remind me to tell you about what he did with the pressure cooker next time. Oh, damn, it overflowed! Really need to get going. Bye, Bella.
He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Journal update. Sleep comes easier tonight. Ooh, we're good friends. I don't know, maybe it doesn't work. I just thought that it made more sense to go with the priest thing since it's a horror game and everything. And I mean, the menu of the game is the church. So, you know, it just seemed like the obvious choice to make if you want to survive. So we'll see. Zachary still reminded Isabella Santos of the Ermengarde Mansion's blessing tomorrow. They will be accompanied by Father Norman, a well-known priest in the Anglican and Christian communities. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. He's described to be a warm and approachable person, especially by the youths. Alright. For first time in a long time, I dream of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter for children playing in the streets, and of small, crumpled dwellings. Actually, everybody dreams, but it's about when you wake up, which... It's about the time you wake up, which kind of will determine if you remember what you dreamed of. But everybody dreams every single night. Fact. However, you have less and less. I don't remember what it's called in English. Maybe it's called like lucid dream. I don't know. No, it's not lucid dreaming. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But the dream state, when you're in the dream state, it becomes less and less of that like very deep sleep when you dream as you get older. So, no, as like toddlers or whatever, they dream. They have dreams. They are in deep sleep for the majority of their sleeping hours. And if you wake up, if you get like I don't remember everything. It was over a year ago I read about this or I studied it, but it's kind of like so if you oh sorry, so if you wake up, if you're like, if someone's trying to wake you up, right, while you're dreaming, it's really difficult because you're in that deep sleep. So you will feel really tired because you're not supposed to be disturbed during those sleeping hours. So you should just feel so tired, and it's going to be really difficult for you to wake up, right? So yeah, it's interesting. Sleep is interesting to me. Anyway. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Zach's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. 5 a.m. Crazy. Oh. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already on my way to the Ermengarde Mansion. Maybe that's like a preset 5 a.m. Maybe that it was 5 a.m. last time too. I don't remember. I'll keep that in mind now, just for the fun of it. To think that I'd have to go back again. I'd be lying if I say I'm excited. I don't have to anymore. Rose happily gave me paperwork duty when I volunteered. We're in the last phase of the sale too. Well, almost. Papers to sign, documents to finalize, various other legalities to settle with the current owner and all that still. Never mind that its new owners want everything done within the week, when the process typically takes more than that. They want it done? We'll get it done. I really don't understand rich people, but money can do wonders. I won't be surprised if they'll be able to push the process just a little more, like what they did to secure the house. The point is, I'm under no obligation to return to the house anymore. Running is an option, of course. I can now move on to another property and forget everything. However, at the end of the day, it's always my conscience that wins. What if something happens to those who have seen the letter? Ash, Zach, Becca, Miss McCullough, the Wrights. The guilt will follow me to my grave. The mansion looms as we approach. Whispers welcoming me back, shadows calling. I hope this is the last time. Hello. They are engaged in a quiet conversation when I find them in the mansion's front gardens. But even with familiar company, it's impossible to feel at ease here. No matter who I'm with, the feeling of being watched is there. Like the very place itself is aware of its trespassers. Zach, on the other hand, doesn't seem to notice. Or he simply doesn't care. Or he's already used to it. I can never tell with him. Sometimes he's almost as hard to read as Ash. Almost. At least Zach doesn't ask for as much patience as dealing with Ash does. And that says plenty about him. Miracles, how the two have ended up the best of friends. He waves at me as I approach. True to his promise, Zach has also brought his friend with him. Father Norman. Somehow, I expected him to look older.
Oh, don't be surprised. They say people who have found their calling are getting younger these days.
Sorry, Father. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
No offense taken. Though I admit I'm a bit surprised. I didn't think someone would ask this house to be blessed after all these years.
You've heard of it, Father?
In passing. The occasional rumors and talk by the locals, nothing new. You don't spend years serving the church here without hearing a random hearsay here and there.
You never mentioned what you thought of those, Father.
Ah, but he who goes down to the grave does not come up. He shall never return to his house, nor shall his place know him any more.
But what I saw...
May not be what you think. It depends entirely on what you mean by it. If you're talking about spirit beings, angels, demons, then yes. Are we talking about the spirits of people who have departed? The word makes it clear that once the deceased has left us, they are gone. But of course, I didn't come here to bore you with a lecture.
No, it was enlightening, Father. Thank you.
And what was it, huh?
Just remember that a God who loves his children would never let them linger once the time comes.
That's what my papa often tells me.
Your father must be a good man. He raised you well, no doubt. Well then, shall we? Regardless of what it is, I'm sure the mansion's new owners would appreciate such sincere intentions. From a stranger, no less.
He lets Zach and I walk ahead. A relief. This way, he won't see how tightly I'm clutched the steps in my bag. Straps, not steps. Father Norman's probably trying to put me at ease. But the worry, the cold, restless, foreboding feeling, has firmly lodged itself in my stomach, making his presence known with every step we take towards the house.
Hey, you okay?
Zach lightly nudges my side, careful, mindful of his motions, to avoid startling me, no doubt. I don't think they should be cheerful and just talk about it, you know? It's hard to lie when Zach gives you that look. I mean, it's been pretty high. I'm not sure if it went up or down. It actually went down a little bit. Well, there you go. It's just there. The kind that implores a silent appeal. I'm not sure if he's even doing it consciously. Another breeze blows and I try not to shiver, try not to listen to the voices that may or may not be there.
Ugh, this place really gives me the creeps.
It doesn't seem more than an ordinary house to me, though. Damn, I should have brought my camera with me. I saw a few areas that'd be good for a shoot. You think the new owners will allow it?
Shh! What if you catch something? Or someone in one of the pictures?
It just means they want to be seen, doesn't it?
Don't ask for it.
It's not like we can stop them if they do.
You're really not helping, Zach.
All right. Sorry. Don't worry. I don't think whatever's inside this house will do anything. I'm here, yeah? I'll take care of them. Or I think I can.
You're not that scary, but thanks. I'll be sure to run behind you if I see one.
Ridiculous talk, though. The temporary reprieve it lends it more than welcome. He offers me a smile in return, the least he could do. And with a slight motion of his head, he gestures for us to move ahead, while my own fears are left forgotten for the time being. The things inside my bag clatter softly against each other while I rummage for the keys to the mansion. I should have heard the telltale jiggly by now, but didn't I put it in my bag last night? Seconds later, I'm sitting on my heels, and one after another, I'm taking out everything from every pocket, every slip. It'll be a pain to put everything back later, but I'm sure just under these, nothing. Oh man, a lot of times to forget.
Is something the matter?
No, I'm sorry, Father. I think I left the key.
No use coming up with excuses. And right after they both taking the time to go this far away from the city. With a heavy sigh, I grabbed the door handle to pull myself up. A string of apologies ready at the tip of my
Careful,
tongue.
Bella!
We've spoken with the current owners. Well, technically, you're not yet the owners, but...
Is that Rose? There's a brief moment of confusion, and then I'm falling. The momentum of the door swinging open pulls me back first into the mansion's foyer before I can make sense of what's happening.
Ow, my back.
What the... Isabella?
No time to nurse my bruised back or make up excuses because the next thing I know, Zach's gently pulling me upright by my arm. Rose looks down at me with a mixture of apprehension and something I couldn't quite place. I'd say it's relief, but... sheesh. Good going, Isabella. Right after you volunteered to work on the papers. And standing behind her...
Ma'am Hannah! Mr. Wright!
Oh, Isabel. We always meet in the most interesting circumstances.
A complete understatement, darling. What are they doing in my house?
Abruptly, he waves his hand at Zach and Father Norman like their presence is a slight against his own.
I thought you said you wanted to do paperwork duty. What are you doing here?
Like a deer caught in the headlights. Unfair, Rose. That's putting me on the spot. And leaves me no other choice but to answer.
The reason why I'm here?
Well, spit it out, Lily. We don't have all day.
I'm just here to make sure everything is fine before you move in.
I'm so sorry, Mama. You said I'll go to hell if I lie. I likely will after this, but there's no other way. While it isn't entirely a lie, I'm here to make sure no one disturbs them after they move in. It just so happens that what I'm checking for and trying to drive away is of the paranormal variety.
Oh? The house appears impeccably fine to me.
Mr. Wright shifts his eyes around in a careful manner as if he's looking for faults in every crevice of the house. The grin on his face, though, when he returns his attention to me, is similar to what my Kuja Jordan had often given me when he was up to something. Usually a scare prank that inevitably ended in me crying. I never did forget the way my brother sneered at me then. Part of me thinks that perhaps if I hadn't been the object of his mischief in childhood, I would have grown a little braver.
Come on, little Lily. Lying doesn't do that cute little face any justice. I'm a very patient man. Now, why are you really here?
Right now, in the face of an almost identical expression, perhaps even crueler than what I'm used to, the lie I told falls apart.
The truth is, I was just thinking we could have the house blessed before move-in day.
And why would we ever need to have this house blessed?
For luck and protection.
I shrink under his scrutinizing gaze. For a second, I think that he'll start shouting at me. Instead, he laughs. Not the mocking, jeering kind, but one wondering if he's hearing things right. I say I was amused, but I honestly couldn't understand what was so funny in what I just said. Was it really that weird? Wasn't it custom here? I wish Becca was here to explain stuff like that.
That's rich coming from you. When we saw Devlin Court, you didn't.
It's a small custom back home. I thought it would be nice to do something that would bring positive energy to the mansion since this place has been empty for years.
And the papers, Isabella? I hope you did those first before this.
Of course I did. It's almost done, in fact. But there are some items I still have to double check before finalizing everything. You know I don't sign without a thorough inspection. And well, this is what this is for too. I just thought it would be more efficient to do both at the same time.
Here I thought you didn't want to go back.
A job is a job, Rose. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then go ahead. No need to be so hard on her, Rosie. I personally think it's a nice touch. I was actually thinking of the same thing, but you beat me to it.
Really?
Darling, Buttercup, please. You know these things don't work. No offense meant to the holy man, of course. That does not explain the nigger, though.
Whoa. What? Are you serious? Okay. All of a sudden, there is an awkward silence that even Rose, of all people, seems reluctant to break. Although a desire to do so is evident in the way her eyes nervously shifts to Mr. Reid. Meanwhile, Sax's grip on my arm suddenly tightens. He doesn't say anything further, but there's a conflicted look on him when I glance up. That's the face he makes only when he desperately wants to give someone a piece of his mind, but chooses not to do so, mostly to avoid confrontation or fanning the flames to an argument. He's always been like this. Even among his own friends, he chooses to take a placating stance despite holding opinions of his own. Not that I won't say anything. I know Mr. Wright's client, a client, jeez, but you can't just say that in front of other people, in front of Zack, no less. If Ashton were here, I know he wouldn't stand for it, and neither do I. There's a reason why bullies back home never touched my younger brother again after I gave them a taste of their own medicine. He might be inches as taller than me, but I'm pretty sure I can still land a hit or two. Maybe. If only I'm not going to get in trouble with BRC for this. But before any porch could be thrown, Ma'am Hannah cuts in.
Lucille Mitchell-Wright.
In a voice too firm, demanding his complete silence.
What?
Instead of answering, she merely crosses her arms and shoots her husband a sharp, disapproving glare. That seems to have done the trick. He immediately shuts his mouth, but not before muttering a few inaudible words under his breath. At this, Ma'am Hannah could only sigh and roll her eyes, more than happy to get back to the topic at hand.
I'm sure she knows what she's doing, love. She got us the house, remember? Who knows what a little positive vibe can do? It could even give us what we've been eagerly waiting for all these years.
What have we been waiting for? I don't think I was ever informed of.
Nothing you should worry about right now. Anyway, we've still got a few things we need to discuss with Rosie here. Over lunch? I hope you don't mind, Isabel. We'd love to take you with us, but...
Oh, no. Go ahead, ma'am. This'll take time. That's why there's two of us working on this.
Rose looks like she's about to murder someone. Probably me. At least she won't have to stay in a haunted property. She's getting the better end of this deal if anyone's going to ask
Oh,
me.
wonderful. I hope the next time the three of us meet, it'll be over a closed deal,
Of course, ma'am. Please look forward to it.
Rose hurriedly hands me the keys to the house before leaving, mouthing reminders to secure the place and harmless threats for throwing her under the bus. Return it with a reassuring smile on my own, even if she's the one who often forgets. Jeez. And just like that, gone, just as quickly as they appeared, fleeing from one scene to the next, and leaving me wondering if this is simply what's typical for the rich and famous. If so, I'd rather stay with my rundown apartment or our little shack back home. There's still joy in the smallest things, after all. With a house this big, it's not surprising. May this house be blessed. Achievement unlocked. Okay, right. So I told you that I was, that I'm not sick anymore, but I mean, there's some. I'm not completely fine. I'm not completely recovered, but you know, it's not a big deal. So I probably won't record that much today since, well, it takes a lot to, you know, read. That's why I didn't record when I was sick. Because this takes a lot, you know, you're just talking constantly. But yeah, okay, so that guy, he seemed nice, right? Jeez. I think this was the thing that you shouldn't look at because that was a bit spoilery about the story. I guess this is kind of like the timeline tells you like, oh, this decision made this happen, maybe? I'm not sure. So we're going to probably, it looks like we're going to be playing as all of these characters. Interesting. This is a really big game. I think I'm going to play another game as well while playing this because this is such a big game. So yeah, I've been thinking about which game to pick. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, with a house this big, it's not surprising when the ceremony takes a few hours to finish. The sun's already high by the time we've gone through the last room. I can never say I'm a devout follower of my own fate, even with Mama and Papa's teachings. But hearing every word Father Norman uttered as we went around the house has put me at ease. All of a sudden, the mansion doesn't seem so scary anymore. Maybe there is an end to this? Or perhaps this is the end? Dude, this is only the beginning of the game. Father Norman bids us goodbye upon exiting the mansion's grounds. He has business in the village nearby, he says. A minute gesture to reach out to the members of their parish every once in a while. It reminds me of a distant memory of helping hands and a few kind smiles to help my family pull through when times were tough. But before he leaves...
Isabella, a word before I go? Zachary hasn't been really forthcoming with your situation, and it is something I understand it wasn't his to share. But whatever burdens you, know that it's not a permanent fixture in your life. Besides, you have people to bear it with.
I bite back the harsh retorts before they come out, masking it with a smile as we waved the good priest off. His words, though meant to comfort, has only left a bitter taste in my mouth. And if they don't believe you, what am I to do? Like, a hand lands briefly on my shoulders, taking me out of my thoughts before they take a sudden turn. But my smile doesn't quite reach my ears when I turn to him.
Say, do you want to go somewhere?
Right now? Where to?
Anywhere in the city. I'll leave it up to you.
Should I take his offer? I guess? I don't think I have anything else to do. Sure.
It wouldn't hurt. I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries.
Hey.
And there's a shop I want to check.
Is it real food this time?
Let me guess. Rebecca?
She's just worried about you. Even I can't eat that much instant noodles.
Think of it as a talent. Let's just go, Zach.
I smile. A real one this time. Devoid of any unpleasant thoughts. I mean, yeah, probably good for her to just hang out with someone instead of just going alone, too. Regardless of what happened between us these past few days, I don't want to think harshly of them. And he probably needs someone to just hang out with because he's kind of down about how his movie turned out. The reviews is what I meant.